All right. I'd like to welcome everybody to this first training session that we're having for the 2026 season. This will be a brief overview and just of the basic rules that when you walk out there, you'll kind of know the basic elements of the game because rules have changed. I think they changed about 8 or 9 rules for the NAIA rules. Everything's going to be listed on the website under our website that you registered with under flag football. We'll have the cheat sheets and the overtime rules and also presentations and that kind of thing. So just know that that will be listed at the bottom. We're going to be joined by Rich Colin in a little bit. So as soon as he comes on, we'll stop and introduce Rich Colin. He wants to say a few things. We're gonna end at 8 o'clock precisely. And if we're going to stop the recording, if you want to stay on and ask some questions, then you can. But we're going to have people to also just, all right, we're going to ask you to mute there. All right. So I
Hey,
will take
Todd.
attendance. Yes, Greg.
Real quick, Rich is not going to join tonight. He got pulled last minute to do a basketball game at Long Beach, CSU Long Beach, I believe. But he did just want me to thank everybody. This is a real exciting time for SCCFOA to incorporate women's flag in here. Todd and Kristi have really done a phenomenal job stepping up for the 76 of us that are on this call. Todd did this last year with what, 9 or 10 schools, Todd? Now we're up to how many? 20 or
Well, we
so,
did
give
it
or
with
take?
four schools, and we're up to
Four
at
schools
least
last year.
9 schools, 10 schools now. So we just added
Yep.
another.
And, Christy did a phenomenal job kind of standing up an instructional program, right away. And then now she's had some time, to really think through what this curriculum is going to look like here. So, on behalf of SCCFOA, we couldn't be prouder, of this team that we've put together to kind of shepherd us all through this new sport that is women's flag football. So, I do see Mike Marsh on here, who's our president of FCCFOA. Mike, are you in a position you want to say anything? Have anything to add to the group?
No, I just want to echo what you just said, Greg. You said that very well. And I just wanted Todd and Christy to know that we're here to support you in any way so that we can guarantee there's some type of success, that we want to guarantee that there is success with this program and that we produce quality officials. So thank you for doing this, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Very
thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for letting us do it. Some of the teams that we're signing, I mean, we're doing games like USC and UCLA, and we're getting games in LA and in Ventura, and some Division 3 games. So this is something that is kind of exciting. We are kind of working with the CFFO and using some of their training curriculum and using some of their training stuff that is out there. And they do have meetings, and I believe we're going to post those meetings through Arbiter if you'd like to attend. It just gives you more knowledge of the NAIA rules. And also, if you want to do Division 3, 2, and 1, they're kind of also a leader like we are in training officials and getting guys and girls on the field. Greg Trulex has been a great help to us to this program. He's somebody who's is elevated extremely fast. He's extremely bright. So, reach out if he's got questions and, thanks to Kristi. But we're going to dive right into the rules and if there's any questions, put them in the chat. I'll bring them up to Kristi, but we don't really want people to talk unless they have a great question in the chat. So go ahead, Kristi, and you can take over from here.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Todd. And again, thank you to everybody who's on this call and everybody that's been super supportive. It's really awesome for the SCCFOA to take on women's collegiate flag football. It's an exciting time, especially because it is going to be elevated quite quickly. We are currently going to be using the NAIA rules, and I've been doing training with the CFFO and another organization on the East Coast, the CFFOA. And everybody's kind of staying in line with the way they're training all their materials. So we want to make sure that we're in line with what they're doing on the East Coast, the Midwest, and the West Coast, so that when it's time and anybody is interested in being elevated to a higher level, everybody's pretty much officiating and has the same experience as everybody else. And with that, I will go ahead and share. One of the main things that I want to go over today is the differences between high school and the college rules. There's several differences that we're going to be going through. Because there's about, like Todd said, there's 5 or 6 different that sorry about that. There's 5 or 6 different things that are going to be different here. Let's see. All right, the points of emphasis from the NAI rules. One of the points of emphasis this year is line control. Know what sideline control is. We basically need to help our coaches stay where they need to be. We can let them come up to the line if they need to yell out a play or anything like that. Also, the players come over to the sideline, get a play, but the coaches need to make sure they're staying back. They just want to have this emphasis. I think in any game, whether it's tackle or flag, we need to have this sized as making sure that it's a safety issue for our when we're on the field, and just making sure that everybody is clear where one is. The next thing that they really want sized is the screening action. I know everybody has questions about this and what's legal and what's illegal, and we can talk about that a little bit later at the end. But the definition is obstructing an opponent without using part of your body to initiate contact while within the name of your own body. So basically, we keep a buffer between the offense and the defense. It is up to the offense to keep a buffer as the rusher is in to pull a flag from the ball carrier. The next thing that is on pretty high emphasis is illegal contact before any passes. This is defined as a running play, any play prior to legal or forward pass being thrown, or any time during a kick while the ball is in flight. Defensive player may not use their hands or arms to reach, hold, displace, or otherwise illegally obstruct an opponent. One thing that I want to say this is you're going to see a lot of players out there that may come up to a blocker and they may brush each other. This is non-impactful contact. We do not want something like that called that is just maybe a brush by or something like that. What we're looking for is if they're running up to a blocker and they're using their hand, move them out of the way. Those are that they're going to call. That's what we want to call illegal contact before a pass. We also want to relate incidental contact as unavoidable contact during this. Just so incidental means maybe you can't explain it, and sometimes we'll just use that as a reason why we didn't have a flag on that play. But something a little bit is unavoidable. We know that there was going to be contact. It was nobody's fault. Nobody could have avoided it. Next up are the main differences between college flag and high school flag. This season, we are going to have a 30-second play clock. This 30-second play starts at the dead ball of the previous play. So tweet our whistle, hand up, here's our spot, play is dead. We're starting the 30 play clock. Every school is asked to have a visual play clock at each end of the field. If not, this is going to the field judge's responsibility to start this clock. At 10, they will put their arm, and at 5, they will go live, and then they will start counting 1. And that's how we're going to use the 30-second play clock. Hopefully, the schools will have this space, or they will have it soon in the future, something that they're using moving forward. This we are going to use substitution mechanics. We will be using similar mechanics as college. We are going to have our arms at T formation. be responsible for holding the tee towards the fence so that they have time to respond. A replaced player has seconds to leave the field. We can be generous. This is the first year with substitution. If we bump the clock for any reason, the referee is going to have the opportunity to be able to do that.
So
Next
Kristi,
thing is flag guarding.
hey, Kristi.
Flag
So-
guarding is a spot foul, always is. It is 5 yards and it is a loss of down. In full, it's 10 yards, no loss of down. So this is a big difference. Yeah,
Okay, so basically no hideout plays. So they want people
There.
in, right? And then they want people to, 3 seconds to make that change, and then they're off, right? Anything else is disconcerting.
Sorry, I didn't
They're
hear you.
trying to cheat, right? So just use your best job on that
Yep.
hideout play. And on that illegal screen or blocking, it's
Yep.
5 yards in college. So just remember that on that penalty, it's 5 yards. So
exactly.
don't do the 10. It's 5 yards for that. So
Move over that too when we get to the foul report and all, I mean, fouls and the enforcement. So the next thing that remember is that 3 timeout half is no carryover. In this particular, where'd my paperwork go here? Right, we will have 10 runoff in the last 1 minute. We're gonna have it in the last minute. Every half, we will have a 10-second runoff. I'm just gonna review things about the 10-second off, so that we're all aware. Again, it's the last 1 minute of each half. A foul by either team, that's the clock immediately. The referee will track 10 seconds from the game clock at the option of the offended team. I want to go ahead and go over the second runoff, game clock and the foul. So one thing that we need to remember is the offended team may accept the yardage penalty and decline the second runoff. If the yardage penalty is declined, the 10-second runoff would decline by rule. Just so everybody is aware. I would like everybody to make sure that when you do get the rules, make sure you go through them thoroughly. If you have any questions at any time that you're reading the rules, please send it over to myself and I would be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. The next thing that we're going to change, we are not going to have a whistle for every ready to play this season. The referee will manage the snap till all officials are in place and ready. Best a pregame meeting with the SIR and the QB to discuss. In a game yesterday, and the quarterback and the SIR, I let them know that the new ready for play is the dead ball from the plays when the third starts. I ball down. If for some reason I need to hold up the play because the other officials are not in their spot and we might need to just hold them a little bit, I just let them know that they will have a signal from me and I'll be closer to them and let them know when they can put the ball in play. It seemed to work really well. There was never a question, any question by anybody when they started that. Next thing that we remember is offsides is a defensive foul. There's no entering the neutral zone. You cannot go in and come out prior to the snap. That means we cannot bet. No exaggerated actions or signals. These are all offside defensive fouls. We would want to stop play immediately. The other one is the no player in or beyond the neutral zone at the snap, and this would be live. So it's something that we would discuss, throw your flag, all that good stuff. Come in, let the referee know, but let the play continue. Encroachment is an offensive foul, right? Once snap is imminent, no team player may be in or beyond the neutral zone. A red ball, similar to, false start, encroachment, if they're lined up wrong. Hopefully, our line judge or our down judge is working to make sure that everybody is legal every single play. definitely going to be times that we are going to have to kill the play. The live fouls for encroachment would be formations, play action, or illegal shifts. So see those. We're going to let the play continue and figure out what we need from there. The next is we are going to use two down markers. The down box will be opposite the press box with the down judge, and that's going to be the one that displays the down. The second box, as of right now, it can be on either side. And it will be at the line to gain. When the line to gain is the goal line during a tie, it will have a 1 in the box or a 2 in the box, depending on if they are going 1 or 2. The other thing is, I've discussed this with a couple of different people. I happen to like the box not on the same side down judge. Some people have other opinions of having it on the same side. Really, it's going to be a referee at this point in time until we have official mechanics manual that states where we would like it moving forward across the country. This one goes over the 5-yard blocking or contact fouls. We're making these 5 yards instead of 10 yards, or they have made these 5 yards instead of 10 yards because they want an emphasis on less contact. They want us to be a little more strict. So they want us to be able to use these penalties a little more, control the game and control the content a little bit more. I've had a couple of these games with these girls, and I can tell you what I've seen. They realize that this is a no contact, and they've been super great about not having contact out there. So it's really interesting to watch the level of play, how it's moved up from high school and what they're away with to being at the college level, realizing that they do not want contact, and it's a really nice level of play.
Hey, Kristi.
Next up, I just had some really important info that I wanted to go over. I wanted to talk about flag belt. Most important part of the whole flag football game are the belts. Yep.
So we have a little bit of a lag, so we're kind of a
Todd?
little bit behind. Yeah, so we're a little bit behind on about a 10-second
Are you
lag.
there,
Yeah, can you hear me or no?
Todd?
Yeah, so I think everybody can hear me, but I think Chrissy's having just some problems. But there's a couple of questions in
Okay,
the
sorry.
chat.
Yep, I can hear you.
And so it's 3 seconds to leave or start to leave. We just want to clarify that. So it's just, he is correct. Thanks for
Okay.
bringing that up, Rod. It is when you start to leave, not so much you have 3 seconds to leave. So thank you for bringing that up. Also, there is a little bit lag. Maybe you can turn off your video, Kristi, and it might work a little bit better.
See.
That might help a little bit.
All right, we'll try that.
That already sounds better.
All right, yeah. So I think we kind of clarified that. Just it's generally just using. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, with the 3 cents, like you said, we talked about that using your best judgment, making sure you're in the field and in a timely manner, those types. Next up, I wanted to talk about. Oh, did I just stop sharing?
No,
Sorry.
you're good.
I'm not sure what
While she's-
happened.
while-
Does it
while
look,
she's
am I still
getting-
sharing, Todd?
Yes, you are. When she's getting that back, why don't you unshare and I'll share from here?
Okay. I can't
And then
see my screen.
Yeah.
All
So
right, there we go.
basically,
Sorry
one thing
about
I
that.
want to, that's okay. One thing I want to make sure when you guys go out there and the ladies go out there on the field is, the R is in his normal R position. The headlines, which is going to be the F position, for both of you, right? The headlines position, he's going to be on the line of scrimmage. If the field's marked extremely well, then you're just going to know that it's 1 yard, right? If they're in that neutral zone. So if they cross over at the neutral zone at any time, it is an infraction. They don't have time to reset like in college. So we are gonna call that. The other official that's going to be the line judge, which is further down the field, he is going to be 8 yards, 9 yards, 10 yards, depending on how they're throwing game. He is going to be further down, and that will allow you to basically have a good cross reference on the field. But if you are 4 yards to the line to gain, I want to make sure that that official is not 8 yards downfield, but he is on the line to gain, who is downfield, and you stay on the line of scrimmage. And so that way, everybody basically is on the same page with that. We want to work that line as best we can, right? And that way, that person can really have a good look at that first down. So just know the basic mechanics of that is basically everyone can just see it from the view, and if it's 2 yards, he doesn't need to be there, right? He can go down now 3 or 4 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards, because you can cover that with one step, right? So just kind of use your head with some of these mechanics that we're doing. The referee's really got to be concentrated on that illegal blocking because he's going to be moving. So he's not going to see if the ball was caught. He's not going to see if the ball what happens, right? So it's really job for the flanks to basically do that. If you are on the headline spot, you have the box on you, right? So the box is right behind you in the normal spot, and we like the guy, the further person down, which is the line judge, to be the guy that does the 30-second clock. So just know that when you're got that 30-second clock, if you're keeping it and you're the back judge, which is kind of the deeper of the two, then you're going to keep that 30-second clock. Some colleges don't have it. So you're just going to put your arm up, as Kristi was saying, and then you're going to do a 5 count, 1, and then 2, 3, and then you're going to slowly go down with that. I just wanted to see because I've been doing quite a few of these games already, and I'm kind of just testing what mechanics. There's no mechanics manual yet, but we've done enough of them that we kind of know what works really good. Does anybody else have any questions about that? Where the positioning when you first get out there and what you're doing? I really would like the R to be the decision maker of who plays
We're
what
about to
position.
talk about the,
Are you back now? Can you hear us?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay, go ahead. Go. You froze for a second.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
That's okay. Can you hear me? I
Yes.
don't know what's going on over here. Anyway, as Todd was saying, we're gonna go over the triangle officiating in a couple minutes. Some of the important info is the flag belts. Again, like I said, super important. We want them to be worn with the most narrow part of the waist, not on the hips. We want them to be snug so that they don't sin during play. And all the tails must be tucked in. This also goes for the shirt. The shirts must be tucked to the shorts. Okay. We don't tucked up under their tank top and showing their stomachs. It says in the book that your shirts must be tucked to your shorts. I also wanted to clarify the pattern, right? Passer is going to be one that is passing a full forward pass. It might not all be the first person the ball from the snap, right? They can pass it backwards at any time. Anywhere on the field, you can have a pass backwards. So we remember that the pattern is the only person is going to be throwing the leap forward pass. That's the only, you could have roughing the passer on. The next important info is the spot. I think sometimes, because we're doing so many different games and different leagues, we forget. But in this particular conference, it is going to be where the ball is when the flag is pulled. You are giving them what they have earned. The girls have a big stretch and they're running. Sometimes the people that pull the flags will throw their flag backward to try and trick the official into thinking the flag was pulled back. This is especially important at goal line plays. A lot of times they will pull the flag and put it back at the 2, and they're like, I pulled the ball at the 2. They can't stretch that far. So we are making sure that the ball has crossed the goal line before the flag has been pulled. Part of the officiating and the spots we need to make are going to be, I'm going to be calling them triangle officiating. Nobody should be within 10 to 12 yards of the other. The referee is always going to be behind the quarterback, more towards the press box side of the down judge. The down judge is going opposite the press box with the down marker. They are responsible for setting the 1 yard new zone. The field judge will be on the press box side, primarily covering the line to gain. The reason why communication is so important is because when the down judge is within 5 yards of a line to gain, they need to let the deep official or the field official know that they are going to have that line now so that they can move to the next line to gain. Everybody needs to communicate on a regular basis. When the goal is threatened, Todd and I discussed that we need to leave that up to the referee to let everybody know what lines they would like covered that particular peg. Super important when the goal line is threatened that both line of scrimmage officials are on the goal line. The field judge can always cheat back to the end line, but if the goal line is threatened within a couple of yards, we need to make sure that we are in the goal line, watching for the stretch over the goal line. The lines that are super important, and we never want to miss in a game. Next slide. Can you change the slide?
Oh, you got to stop sharing. There you go.
Todd?
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me
Oh,
or
I
no?
thought I did. Right.
No, now you're good.
Can you
So
share the slide?
yeah, so Kristi, I just want to
Okay.
make sure that they're pretty clear about this. On this, as you can
Yep.
see, this is this is the first down marker here. Let's see, did everybody see that? Let me make sure. Okay, did everybody see that? I guess, good, thumbs up. So this is the first down right here. So we want that official on that first down marker, right there. So that way any pass that gets thrown, he can immediately identify that. And it's better to see the pedestal. So if the pedestal's
Yep.
here, or whichever gives you the best view for that is the best. If they go goal line threatened, and here's my pylons, Kristi and I talked about this, that it's going to be just like this. So you're right here and quarterback's here. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that this is an accepted mechanic right here, right? So on the hike, you move down here. The line judge is already down here on this mark. And then Kristi and I talked that it's okay to move this guy back here if they've got a really good quarterback. And then this official calls the entire line, but this official still has to help right here. He absolutely has to help on this line, but he's also going to have that back line covered now here, as you can see the pylons. So I just wanted to make
We
sure.
talked about just making sure that we're using common sense when it comes
Yes.
to
Yes.
not that every play is not important, but these super important goal line plays. We just need to make sure that we're using common sense so that we are in the right place at the right time to see what we need to see.
Yes, correct. So, okay, so there's that one. Let me go back to your slides
Thank you, Todd.
and share this one. And here we go. Okay. And are we on this one now?
Next one.
Thank you.
All right. I just wanted to go over some of the qualities of a good official. Communication. Communicating with your crew is imperative. Good communication is one of the most important aspects of the game. Like I said, on the last slide, we want to make sure that we're communicating where our positioning is, who has what, so that everybody is on the same page during every play. The next thing is dead ball officiating. Be aware at all times. Make sure that you are watching all the players at all times, even after the flag has been pulled. We want to make sure that we are on top of everything and making sure that is a fair and efficient contest. We want to make sure that we come prepared. We need to remember that officiating is mentally and physically tough, and we want to make sure that we are well hydrated and all those good things, and we've had a good meal so that we are able to focus on the game at hand. We want consistency. Call quality fouls throughout the game. Remember, at the beginning of the game, it sets the tone for what you are willing to call for the entire game. So we need to make sure that we are consistent. We want to make sure that we talk to our referee and that we are all on the same page with what we are going to do during the whole game. Next important thing is please ask for help. If you have a question about anything, don't hesitate to ask. We all want to get it right. We all want to know. The other thing that I suggest is if you need to be a crew saver at any point, if you think that a penalty was enforced wrong or something didn't happen right, please let your crew know. We all want to be able to have the best game out there for all the participants playing. The next thing is your appearance. All eyes are on you, whether you like it or not. Please wear a proper uniform, have good positioning, know the rules, and sell your calls. Proper uniform this year is we are always going to wear pants. There will be no shorts at any game. We are all going to wear pants every single game. As for shirts, we would definitely like the referee to wear the R shirt. And we would like the field judge, the down judge, we would like them to wear the shirt that has an F on it. However, if you do not have a shirt that has an F, please let your referee know, and they can make a judgment call on the appropriate attire and what letter they would like to have you wear for that particular game. All right, go ahead, Todd.
Nope. Next page.
Yeah. All right, we're just going to go over some of the penalties. Now, everybody will have this in their rule book. This is the chart that is on the NAIA rule book page. We need to remember all of the fouls that have a loss of down. They're going to be flag guarding, illegal forward passing, illegally batting the ball, illegally kicking the ball, intentionally grounding a forward pass, and intentionally throwing a backwards pass out of bounds. All of these will constitute a loss of down. Let's talk a little bit about intentional grounding. We want to make sure that somebody is in the area. We have to remember there is no pocket in flag football. We want to make sure that somebody's in the area. Typically, there's going to be somebody in the area unless they are throwing it directly to the ground to avoid a sack. This is going to be this will be the most time you will see intentional grounding is going to be, they throw it directly to the ground and avoid a sack. We definitely want to call this one. We definitely want to let them know what intentional grounding is. Some of them may not even know that this is a foul. And it's going to be a 5-yard foul, and it's going to be a loss of down on them. And this is a spot foul, so it will be where they are located. The one that is super important, the only automatic first down that is a 5-yard penalty is illegal use of hands or illegal contact by the defense. So we want to make sure that when we call this, we are calling these pretty tight. We want to call these illegal contacts, and we want to make sure that we get this right. Most of this is going to happen on the line and behind the line of scrimmage. So just make sure you are looking for that. Whenever you guys get a chance, go ahead and go over all the other 5-yard penalties, and they're pretty basic. They're the typical 5 yards, encroachments, false starts, those types of things. All right, go ahead and go on the next slide.
And so for everyone will get this little cheat sheet right here. And this is one that you're going to cut up and put in your pocket. And this will basically help you out on some of those penalties that you're enforced. It's something that I make for all my levels. And it's just a quick, simple thing than having to pull out a whole big piece of paper. You got all your defense fouls over here, offense. If there's something that lost it down, it's in red, or an automatic first down. So this will be available on the website that you'll be able to cut out and have. So just so you guys and girls know.
Right. And Todd will also email it out.
Yes.
It's a super great little sheet to have on the field. Okay.
There's
the next one. What's that?
We're on the next one, page 9.
So we just wanted to go over roughing the passer and defensive pass interference, 10 yards or spot. These are also going to be first downs, automatic first downs on these plays. Right. So you can kind of go over it, charging, delay a start, flagrant personal fouls. You can have an ejection for just one flagrant personal foul. It doesn't have to be more than one. You can eject somebody on the first one. I think we all realize that, especially when it's things like fighting and stuff like that. All right. One of the things that we wanted to go over was, you can go ahead and go to the last slide, Todd.
Okay. What about hurdling? Did you want to identify what hurdling is in flag football?
Oh, yes. So if hurdling is going to be going over somebody that is standing up, if there is a person laying down on the ground and you are jumping over them to avoid contact with them or hurting them, that is allowed. Hurdling is the act of jumping over somebody that is in a standing position with their feet on the ground. This is definitely a huge safety foul, and we want to make sure that we get this one.
And if the player's laying down completely and she hurdles over her, we are allowing that.
Yes, because it's usually a safety foul because you are not, maybe she fell earlier or she slipped on the ground and you're running at her. If you do not have time to get around her or you are going to kick her, we are not going to call a hurdling if you are going over her to avoid contact with her and hurting her. All right. Yeah, you can leave it. Actually, you can leave it on here. We want to make sure that everybody knows that lateral or backwards passes can happen at any time during the game. This includes on punts. If the receiving team on a punt catches the ball and is moving forward, they are allowed to make a lateral or backward pass to any member of their team. Hopefully it wouldn't be the other team. They cannot make any forward pass. Let's see.
And
one more
punting,
thing.
the punting game. So I want to go over that.
Right. And I have it all right here.
Perfect.
So punting the ball After receiving the snap, we're just going to go ahead and read over the rules of punting so that everybody is very clear. Let's see. First of all, on a 4th down, a team shall declare their intention to punt. Once declared, the kicking team shall complete the punt prior to the play clock expiring. The selecting team may change their decision after a foul or after a timeout. So they cannot let the time run out and then make a decision. The 30-second clock has started. It is going. They have to make their decision and they have to start the punt or start the play before the play clock ends. The only way they can change their decision is on a foul or after a timeout. Neither team A nor B may enter the neutral zone until the ball is kicked. After receiving the snap, the kicker must punt the ball within 4 seconds, and they must do so in a continuous motion. The kicker is permitted to move forward in the process of kicking the ball, but not cross the line of scrimmage. A punt that is made when the kicker's entire body is beyond the line of scrimmage is an illegal kick. Let's go over a punt behind the neutral zone. A punt that fails to cross the neutral zone continues in play. All players may catch or recover the ball behind the neutral zone and advance it. That means the receiving team or the kicking team may advance the ball if the ball does not get past the neutral zone. However, this is on 4th down, and we need to remember, even if they do advance it, if they do not get the 1st down, the ball is turned over to the receiving team.
One question is the kicker allowed to move sideways to try to block the punt?
The kicker?
It says here, the
to
kicker.
block the punt. So they're not going to be.
So let's say the kicker sweeps to the left and tries to punt the ball. If the girl is standing in appropriate spot and the ball hits her as she kicks it, that is a legal play as long as she's not in the neutral zone.
Correct.
So
and the kicker has all the space to move around for the kick, and they may move towards the line of scrimmage but not cross it.
And the defense is allowed to jump as high as they want and do whatever they want in order to block that, as long as they don't
as long as they are not in the neutral zone.
In the neutral zone at all, at any time.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, that answered the question. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's see. When a punt that has crossed the neutral zone touches a player of the receiving team who is in bounds, just remember that any player, as long as they're in bounds, may catch the ball in flight. Let's see. The next one is catch or recovery by the kicking team. If a player of the kicking team catches or recovers a punt that has crossed the neutral zone, the ball becomes dead. The ball belongs to the receiving team at the dead ball spot unless the kicking team is in legal possession when the ball is declared dead. Out of bounds between goal lines or at rest in bounds. If a punt goes out of bounds between the goal lines or comes to rest in bounds untouched and no player attempts to secure it, the ball becomes dead and belongs to the receiving team at that spot. Again, all of this is going to be in the rules that'll be sent out. So you can go over it at any time. One of the main ones that I really want to go over is kick catch interference. One more thing before I move on to kick catch interference is we wanted to talk of out of bounds behind the goal line. If the ball becomes dead and belongs to it belongs to the defending team of that goal line, and it would go to the 14-yard line. So it would basically be a touchback and go to the 14, but it would be the receiving team's fault. The next one is kick catch interference. If an inbounds player of the receiving team is located where they could catch a punt that is crossed the neutral zone and if the player is attempting to do so, they must be given an unimpeded opportunity to catch the kick. It is an interference foul if, before the receiver touches the ball, a Team A player enters the area defined by the width of the shoulders and extended 1 yard in front of them. When in question, it is a foul. So these are just little things that we need to remember. And we can go over in our pregame every single time before we get on the field. We have to remember that there are no kickoffs. We only have legal punts this season, and there is no extra point kicks. All extra points will either go from the 3 or from the 10. I think that was everything, Todd.
We had one on a punt. The referee does not have to give any kind of verbal count, not with his arm or anything. So
No.
it's going to be a live ball foul, right? So we just flag it, let the play happen, and then go from there, and then do our dead ball mechanics from there.
Yeah.
So one question.
Typically, I like to let the snapper or the kicker know, hey, remember you have 4 seconds. I just like to remind them, and then there's usually not a problem. Again, we're going to use our best judgment.
So mechanics
on
for
that.
this, when for referees, the line judge will go all the way down and mirror where the kicking team is, and the head linesman will stay on the line of scrimmage until the ball is kicked.
Correct.
And he'll jog down right after that. So you're going to have that kick catch interference, and you're going to have the run as it goes upfield. Because if it's a 35-yard punt, the headlines will probably not be down there yet. So just make sure you got your head on the swivel, because you're the only one down there as a line judge. For the
Correct. And
mechanic,
remember, as a field judge, when you are deep, you're going to want to make sure that you put your beanbag down where the kick is either muffed or caught, just so that we know where we're going, where it ended, just in case we have any foul moving forward.
and somebody asked a question about the ball bouncing. So as long as it bounces 3-4 times, as long as it's picked up by the nearest girl, she can run
They can
that.
advance it. Yes,
But the minute she fumbles it, it's dead ball.
dead ball.
If
So a
she,
muff that hits the
yeah.
ground. However, a muff that is in the air can be recovered by either team.
Correct. So if the ball bounces off her chest and is in the air, then the girl can then secure it. Any girl can secure it. And basically it's now a fumble from that point. But if the ball hits the ground after it's controlled, it is a dead ball. Like
Exactly.
a pass is dead, a backwards pass is dead. If that
Yep.
ball strikes the ground, they do not want girls diving because they don't have helmets, they don't have protective gear. So think of it as always a dead ball.
Right.
Uh,
Do we have any other questions?
Right now, no, we've done a good job with the punts. The punts can get tricky, but they've been just like the high school ones, so mirror the same thing that we've been doing for that. That's when most of the stuff, anything loose ball, that's when everything gets really weird.
Yeah, and a lot of the things that Todd and I wanted to go over today that we discussed was making sure that we know the differences. A lot of you, hopefully most of you, have done high school at a high level or even did the college rules last year. We just want to make sure that we are getting everybody on the same page moving forward, and that we're all trying to follow the rules as best we can. And
So also, no, we can tap our head, if that's the mechanic you want to use for you to release downfield, that's totally fine. That's a pregame with your white hat. Also, you should never be on the field. The referee should never, or the R or the R is the only one on the field, but the line judges are off the field. So you're never in a back judge position. You're always on the sideline. I just want to make sure that that's very clear, because you don't want to be in the play and get knocked over by one of these girls that are running full speed. So you're always, if you're a flank official, you're off the field. There, at no point you should be on the field ever, unless you're breaking up a fight or you're coming in to spot the ball. I like to use on my mechanic crew is if it's 8 to 10 yards, then that deep flank official is the one that's going to spot that ball for me and put it down. So that way I can immediately get in that spot. I don't have to run up there. So really kind of talk to your white hat how you want to make that flow of the game happen. I think we need to go over overtime and then
Yeah,
answer some
that was the
questions.
next thing.
Yeah,
Right,
so
that
we
was the
just
next
have
thing. Do you have that?
overtime. Let's see. I do, I think. Hold
I
on.
think you had that.
Yeah,
One
I
of the
do.
things that we talked about is we would like to leave it up to the referee and the coaches for non-conference games, whether we are able to end in a tie. We'd like to make sure that you get this information at the beginning of the game so that we are not asking if it does end in a tie, make sure that you find out before. That this again is going to be one of the big differences. Overtime will be from the 10-yard line.
So I've got the overtime for the timeouts is if they've got 3 timeouts left over, they don't carry over.
No, it's only one timeout
So
per
they get
overtime period.
they get 1 timeout. That is correct.
So there will be only one coin toss for overtime period. The winner of the coin toss obviously gets their choices. The other choice goes to the team that lost. They will pick the end zone or they pick to go for the ball. Those are going to be the choices. If nobody scores after the first series of overtime, the person that lost the original toss, they get to make the first choice going forward for that series. And then again, for the third series, it goes back to the original person that won the coin toss. They would get to make the decision. Let's see. Each team will put the ball in play. There we go. An extra period consists of 2 possession series. Each team puts the ball in play at the opponent's 10-yard line. So we have to remember it's different from high school. High school was the 20. We're going to the 10-yard line. Each team gets possession, retains possession until they score or fail to do so in their 4 allotted downs. Team A may not retain possession if they regain it after a change of possession and do not score during that down. Beginning with the third extra periods, the team's possession series will be 1 play for a 1-point try from the 3-yard line. Right? So the next one, so we'll have 2 possessions each time. Each team will get 2 possessions to score from the 10-yard line. If they do score, they get to choose to go for 1 or 2. They will have 2 chances to do this. It will go, like I said, the choice of the second series will be of the person that lost the coin toss. And then let's see. Does it go any further and say if nobody scores on the 1-point try, Todd?
If nobody scored, well, they just continue to go back and forth on
So
going
they
for
would
1
always
point.
go from the 3-point yard
That's
until
it.
somebody eventually scores in the series.
Yep. So that's it. So
All right. And then that would end the overtime. So
correct.
only 2 chances each from the 10, and then the third time would only be from the 1 until somebody scores.
That is correct. We do have a few. Is there a mercy rule?
No, there is not.
And now you can talk to the coaches that they are allowed to adjust. If both coaches agree it's just like high school and they want to run it, then go ahead. If you're doing a tournament on a Saturday and the games are scheduled an hour and 15 minutes, which I'm trying to do, just so you know, they could go 24-minute running or 20-minute running. They stop the last minute in the first. So let the coaches decide who's running the tournament of how they want to run their timing. But they can't do a regulation game because then the tournament will all be thrown off. They won't get the games done in an hour and 15 minutes. So really keep these games on time. Don't cheat the girls, but just so you know, tournaments are a different animal when it comes to timing.
Yeah, and that'll be up to the tournament director in that. Otherwise, if either team would like to shorten the game it needs to be decided at the beginning of the game what each coach would like to shorten the quarters to. We will always run 4 quarters, but they need to agree at the beginning of the game if they want to shorten it. It's not something you can start at halftime. It needs to be agreed upon at the beginning of the game.
Correct. And they can use their own ball, just so we have to get their new ball in if they didn't convert. So just so you know, that is fine that they use their own ball.
And the other thing to remember is if they do have an extra ball on the sideline, we are more than happy to accept it if there is a long pass and they would like to get that ball in. If they are trying to hurry up, we are happy to take a ball from the sideline while they get the other ball back to their sideline.
All right. So we're at the 8 o'clock hour. We promised it would go 1 hour. I do not see Rich Colin. I know he said he was going to try to snap on, but I do not see him on. I'm going to turn off the video. Kristi and I will stay on and talk about some plays and assigning if you'd like, but I'm going to stop the video.
Hey, Todd.
Yes.